Hey everyone, welcome and welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a few months. My name is Talia and Happy New Year to you. This is my first video in 2022. I've been gone due to my own personal stuff with my issues with my foot and my family, so I just needed some time and I'm so happy to be here today. Thank you for my new subscribers. I earned a few due to my last video, but we'll talk about that at another time. But thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. And in today's video will be my actual first episode of I Live for the People. I want to say that I had mentioned me starting a series on this channel called I Live for the People. And I wanted to discuss, issues that were going on in our community as a collective. I just wanted to bring awareness to what's going on in our community, which will vary in topics. So today I decided to do self-love. The reason why I chose to do self-love is because I actually took a poll a few months back as far as certain subjects to talk about when it comes down to my first episode of I Live for the People. And the topic that won was self-love. And I think that it's time, I guess, in order for us to talk about other subjects or other things that are going on in our community, we have to start with self. I did some research. I actually dug deep within myself. And so today we're going to talk about how we can better love ourselves while I do my makeup. So if you're interested in seeing what this video has to offer, by all means, stay tuned. But before you get all cozy, there is a button right over here. Go ahead and click that subscribe button. Alongside of it is a notification bell. You must click both. They go together. They are a pair. So go ahead and click both of them so then you know when's the next time I post a video, like times like this. Lord knows, I always aim I always aim for consistency. But your girl, lives a life that I still can't control to do YouTube and manage real time. So go ahead and click both. They're right there. Click it. Welcome to my channel. There is a subscribe button that's located right here. Alongside of it is a notification bell. Stay tuned. I will not always do makeup when I do videos like this, depending on the severity of the topic. I thought that maybe I could always incorporate makeup in whatever I'm talking about, but I feel like some certain situations, certain topics need, direct eye contact without me doing my makeup. But I feel like today was going to be a lighter topic, still serious, but, mellow, kind of get ready with me situation so we can talk about how we can better love ourselves along with doing my makeup. And I just felt like even with this topic alone, people get the misconception of if you apply makeup on, you don't love the skin that you're in, you don't like how you look, you want to alter it or whatever the case is. For me, I've loved makeup since the age of 10 years old. Like, it's been a part of me. If I can find some old pictures of myself, even while I was in high school, I'll post them. Your girl has always been the one to do it up. Watching my mother, get dressed for parties and stuff like that has always been a part of me. Just because we wear makeup doesn't mean that we love ourselves any less. It's an art, it's a way of expression. Like, if you get piercings, you get tattoos, whatever the case is, you decide to do whatever you feel like you need to do to yourself, does not mean that you don't love yourself. You just choose to enhance it. I do what I do. Okay, so what I will do for the products that I will be using in today's video, I will leave everything down in the description box. I think that a lot of us, both men and women, we get caught up in taking care of other people, whether or not it's in our job, at home, being a parent, just running a household, or even for people who are older, taking care of, your parents, even if they're not necessarily sick, but just being the caretaker of loved ones, you tend to think of yourself last. And the only way that we're able to take care of other people is if we just begin to focus on ourselves. You know what I mean? We can't sit here and do everything for everybody. Meanwhile, we're messed up, self-included. I have a hard time to just focus merely on myself. I get a sense of guilt when I want to do something for myself because I just feel like maybe, someone else in my family may need something. And if I spend money here or, because I'm that person, I always feel like, okay, if I decide to go buy something for myself, why? Just wait. Something's going to happen, blah, blah, blah. Well, we're going to just need the money and then I don't get it for myself. And that's usually the case. Like, sometimes it happens that way to where I do need the money for something more important what I may want. But nonetheless, we tend to neglect our own wants and needs because we put our family, maybe even friends, above that. So how do we begin to love ourselves? Simply just put yourself first. Take that time. It doesn't necessarily have to be something materialistic, like you have to go buy something, but just take a breather. Notice what's going on with yourself. Notice what's going on with your body and your mental stability before you can do absolutely anything for anybody else. You got to do a self-check first. And when I say, like, spend some time with yourself, this is the moment where you should meditate, check your feelings, what's going on with you. Like, how do I feel today? Because sometimes some of us just wake up in such a funk, like dead ass bad mood, and you can't really explain why. That's me all the time. Sometimes I really don't have like a legit reason to be mad. Like I just wake up and be like, the hell is, I'm in a funk. I don't want to get up. I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't, and I'm an isolator. That's not healthy. By the way, isolating does not help. Now, not all the time you may want to talk to somebody about your issues or your problems, but when you isolate, you just sit with whatever is going on with you, which is not good because it'll fester. It'll just grow into something bigger and it could really, make someone go unnecessarily. Like I was saying about meditating, you sit here, you sit with your thoughts, you kind of just clear your mind and just focus. Some people want to meditate. I personally, I pray and I journal. Like that's how I get my thoughts out. I will grab, as a matter of fact, it's right next to me. It says, "Hello, sunshine." And when I tell you I journal, honey, I'm like, where's my bookmark? These are my thoughts. I'm glad that it's blurry because you don't need to see what I wrote. But it always starts off with like, "Dear God," like she's full. I write all my thoughts, my prayers for myself and for others. It's just like, it's a mental dump. I just dump everything that I got going on onto my journal. And even the days that I do skip journaling, I definitely have that conversation with God. Like I talk to him like I would talk to anybody else. Lay all my burdens onto him. Now, those who don't believe in God, to, just meditate and also putting yourself first, like monitor your health. That's all of you, not just your physical being, but your mental health. You know what I'm saying? Like, make sure that you have your annual physicals. Make sure you go to the dentist, get your eyes checked. Make sure you're just taking care of yourself in and out. Like it's a priority. After realizing that we need to make time for ourselves, once we realize that, we have to put ourselves first, we also need to realize our self-worth. Let's stop selling ourselves short. And that's in every aspect of life, in your careers, in your relationships, just your interaction with whoever. And it doesn't necessarily have to be like in a romantic relationship, but just overall, like stop settling. Lord knows I have settled in my lifetime. I have dealt with more than I should have from people who didn't, and that's not even just in relationships. That's also with like work. Like, oh, you want to use me for my knowledge, but you don't want to pay me, or you don't feel like I deserve to get promoted because maybe I don't have the certification to do the job, but I know how to do the job. Oh no, ma'am. You'll use me for the knowledge though. And then also expect, for me to train the person that is taking a job that I clearly can do. No. You leave places like that, which I did. You leave people alone who suck the life out of you. You just let them go. And sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's hard to just let people go because, either you're in a marriage or whatever the case is, you might have kids. But honey, if no one is willing to put in work to keep you, then it's time to move the hell on. If people are not noticing your hard work at work, it's time to find a place that will. And recently, I went to like a vision board party in the new year. And it's just, it's good to mingle with other people or whatever, that you guys have like the same interests as far as goals, aspirations, and all that good jazz. It's wonderful, as a matter of fact. But then you'll learn how to just like affirm the things that you want, and also to like to help with like your self-worth. Maybe you need to like to write or put somewhere some like, affirmations that you can see on the daily. So then you can remind yourself, hey, I'm a pretty dope person. I don't need no one to tell me, I already know. And what I started, like, I don't post them everywhere because I'm pretty sure that'll just get on David's nerves just to have like post-its and stuff. But I have like in my planners, like I have stickers. I'm very visual. So I have stickers that pretty much says everything that I need to see for myself and how I feel about myself, like as a visual, something bright, very colorful and inspirational. Because at the end of the day, you don't need anyone to validate you. As of late, probably within the last few years or whatever, you have people that, especially people of color, you have folks who want to tell you about yourself and how you should live, where you should be living, and ball you up into a stereotype. You know that's not who you are. That's not, you know that's not what you're about, regardless of what race, color, ethnicity you are from or are, you're not a stereotype. Stop trying to prove to other people what you're not. Because at the end of the day, your actions will display who you are. Their actions will display who they are. There's no need to defend that. You know what I mean? Like as an individual, like as for myself, you know, I made a commitment that this year I'm going to be more vocal on my channel because I am going to stick up for my people in every aspect that I can. I will only speak on things that I really find necessary to speak on. There's no room to be quiet just because you might be afraid of what people might think about you or they'll group you into a category. You know who you are, you know your worth, and you know that you're not going to sit here and settle or sit back to just let anybody say or do whatever they want. Like, come on. You gotta let them know in 2022 they got it twisted. They found the right one. The next one I have is love the skin that you're in. Honey, let me tell you something. That is definitely one of my biggest struggles. And I know that this by itself is a controversy because everybody always has something to say about someone's body type and what's not considered beautiful. Beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. You may not be my cup of tea. I may not be your cup of tea, but I'm pretty sure I'm somebody's flavor. And I really don't need you to tell me what you don't want from me. Okay, if you don't like it, move the hell on. Like it's that simple. But appreciate who you are where you're at. And if you feel the need to make any form of alterations of some sort, then do what you need to do to make you happy. People got it all messed up that you got to sit here and alter yourself for someone else. No, you don't. And no, you shouldn't. And like I said, that's something that I battle with still to this day because I've never been small. Never in my life have I been a small person. And I don't think that I'm ever going to reach that super thin place in my life. And I have accepted that. Now there's moments that'd be like, you know what, Tal, you have reached your max and you need to tone it down some. Yes, I've been there. I still feel like that. And that's okay. I'm not going to beat myself up for it. Because it's one thing for certain. What I'm saying right now, it's not promoting like being unhealthy or living a unhealthy lifestyle because I don't think that none of us should, like regardless of what size that you're at, because you should care about your health, but you shouldn't have to belittle yourself because of what people say the society standard of beauty is. You know what I mean? And no one, and this includes men too, like no one should have to sit here and go on Instagram and look at these perfect bodies that were built and say, hey, like let's compare my beauty to that. You may be completely natural. They had to literally go in debt or save money for however many years to look a certain way. Their beauty is different from your beauty. Not diminishing what they had to do or what they feel like they needed to do, but you are wonderfully you. Just accept yourself where you are and then work on the things that you feel necessary as you go. Simple as that. So you know how I was just talking about like not comparing yourself to other people's bodies? And the same thing applies to like other people's success. Like just because Luann over here has achieved, like I'm gonna use YouTube for example, has achieved, 10,000 subscribers in like 2 weeks, and here I am barely hitting 42. Like one, I'm gonna sit here and check why I'm at the status that I'm at, but also two, I'm going to congratulate Luann and move on. Simple as that. Don't beat yourself up, or let us not beat ourselves up for not being the next person, because we're not. Their time is their time, our time is our time, and that is that. Because if long as we're looking at someone else and what they're doing, we're never going to hit our goal. And some of us have also been cheated on. Let me tell you something. After someone cheats on you, it's not a you thing, it's a them thing. And I know that some of us have the tendency on comparing ourselves to the person that they cheated on us with, but no, there's no comparison. Just know that. Just know, because you'll be like, oh, what do they have that I don't have? Blase, blase. Nothing. I promise you, nothing. What usually happens that because you didn't sell yourself short, they decided to go to so-and-so to get from them what you aren't willing to give because you had a standard and they don't. Never settle for less than what you deserve. You just don't have to just deal with anything or anybody, period. And it just kind of just goes hand in hand with your self-worth and putting yourself first always. Because ultimately that's just the key to just self-love, just knowing who you are and putting yourself first before you can take care of anybody else and their issues. Nothing is worth you losing yourself over. No. And learn how to forgive yourself because let me tell you something. Out of 42 years, I have done a lot of things that I'm not proud of, right? And that also holds us back from being successful in every aspect of our life because we're holding on to old baggage. We can't forgive ourselves for the dumb stuff that we've done. Like, you gotta let it go. And then you'll find some people who will want to bring up the nonsense again, like remind you of your dumb mistakes. So when they do that, let them do it. Let them bring up all the foolery you've done in your life. Let them show you how stupid they are and show them that you have forgiven yourself for all the mistakes you have done. Because I can write a list of things. And there was a lot of things that I held on to throughout the years because I just couldn't grasp like how stupid I was to do some of the things that I put myself in through. It's just like, girl. Like, for real, why? We're going to sit here and forgive ourselves. And for those who are believers, ask God for forgiveness and move on. Because at the end of the day, if you are a believer, the only person that you truly have to answer to is God. Like, everybody else is obsolete. Doesn't even matter. And the next one is let toxic people go. Let them go. Let them go. Did you hear me? Let toxic people go. People who don't serve you at all. And when I say that, like people who literally don't add no purpose to your life. There's no benefit to your life. Friendships, family members, all of them, boyfriend, girlfriend, fiancés, husbands, all of that. People who do not serve you, it's time to leave them because there's no need to continue to waste your time on people who are toxic. Now, I know if you're in a relationship, not in just a relationship, the ones that are harder to get away from are people that you are married to. And let me tell you something. I've had serious conversations within the last month or so. You need to have hard conversations with people who aren't serving you, regardless of where they stand in your life. If you're not rocking with me, then you're completely against me. And this is what we're doing here. People feel like they have the right to have access to you when they don't. Even friends feel like some friends. I only have like, a few real close ones. And my close friends have never done me dirty. Like never to the point where I could say I'm never talking to them again. I've never had that situation. I really have good friends. I've never had beef to the point, like, there's always like, disagreements. Like you don't agree with certain things or whatever, but never to the point where I'm gonna sit here and tell you I am never talking to you again. Never done that. But if you have friends that just want to use you and only call you when they need something, you let them go. If you can never call them up to sit here and lay your burdens down, let them go. It's okay. I promise you, you're not losing nothing. And that goes for like family members too. I'm gonna share this, and it might be some family members that are my subscribers. They might be, I don't know. But I have a few like racists in my family. Not my darker relatives, but my lighter ones. Some of them feel some type of way about Black people. Some of them have made some ill comments to my mother. And let me tell you something. My mom is a saint, like legit saint. Like you'll never come across a person who has never done nothing in life other than my mother. She's a believer. God is her dude. She's all forgive and forget everybody, right? Me, I'm working on it, Lord. But there's certain things that you just can't say to people, you can't do to people, and just expect for people to just be cool. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not down for it. So there's certain things that was said to my mom in reference to the texture of her hair, and to not let the neighbors know that they're relatives. Okay? After my mom told me which aunt said that, like, she's legit dead in my book. Because if you have the audacity to talk to my mother in that manner, and y'all are first cousins, just because she's darker, screw you for life, forever and always. And I even tell my mom, like there's certain people in our lives that don't deserve to be around, that don't deserve your energy, your loving space, your love, your affection, your peace of mind, your advice. They don't need none of that. And what we do with those people is just simply let them go, no matter how hard it hurts, because it's going to hurt. It's going to feel like someone done ripped your soul out, because there's some people that you just truly love and don't want to let go. But if they're causing more harm than good, like, what's the benefit? How are you being served with the nonsense? Like, seriously, trust me. I recently had to have conversations. Like, listen, love myself way more than I will ever love you. Dead up. Even if you are a parent, you have to put yourself first. Why? Because you can't take care of the kiddos if you're messed up. And that's physically and mentally. You just can't. And you also need to set boundaries with everybody. Just, if you know that you're either trying to separate yourself from the nonsense, from whatever foolery that people are trying to drag you into, you have to tell them, hey, I'm not on the stuff that you're on. So whenever you are about to do X, Y, and Z, leave me out of it. Don't call me. Don't do whatever the case is. I'm not trying to be a part of whatever it is that you got going on. So we need to keep arm's length away from each other. Like, I don't have no beef with you. You don't have no beef with me. But what I'm not going to do is continue to go down this path with you. So this is what is going to happen. Don't call me. Just don't give people easy access. And that's even for the ones that you don't feel like you're going to let go all the way. Don't answer your phone when they call. Don't be easily accessible. Like, plain and simple. I have been told, and I know no one has to really tell me. I know I'm this person. I do not answer the phone when I don't feel like being bothered. When I feel that you're going to call me up with a bunch of negativity, I don't talk to you, because I know who I am. I know that if you start telling me some nonsense, some people can't handle the truth, right? So they just kind of expect for you to kind of sugarcoat stuff. I can handle the truth regardless of how bad it is. It's actually disturbing. Like, I'd rather have brutal honesty than to someone to be completely fake with me. Maybe it's just me, but that's how I prefer life. I prefer for you just keeping it all the way a buck with me all of the time. But you do have to set your boundaries, however that looks like to you. You have to. And don't be afraid to be bold in public. When I say this, being bold in public doesn't mean that you have to be out there running amok, cursing people out, just being outside yourself or what you feel like bold looks like. You can stand your ground and still sound like you have a good head on your shoulder. Even if people want to come out of pocket, when they come out of pocket, remain calm, cool, and collected. Is it difficult? Absolutely. Because I'm that person that has to check their mood on a regular basis, because a girl can get tight real quick. But at the end of the day, I have to realize, one, I'm not 20 something. I'm not in my teens. I am 42. One. Two, I have children. So if I were to go ahead and just clock a person right now in this moment, I could legit go to jail. And is it that serious? No, not at all. But you shouldn't have to sit here and dim your light or be timid because of a certain situation, or you're afraid of what someone might say to you. You know what I mean? Be genuine. Be who you are all the time. When people can see you and when they cannot see you. When you're at home or when you're out in public. And that's my stance on that. You shouldn't have to sit here and be a certain way at home and just can't be that same way out in public. No. Because who I am on this camera, who I am at work, who I am at home, same person. Like, I don't flip a switch at all. And so even like in my last video, it's kind of hard because people tried to break me down and said some things to me. I'm just like, if I didn't have an ounce of love for myself, the things that some of the dudes were saying on there would have crumbled me. Sort of. Like, not really. I don't know. I guess if you don't have legit like thick skin, I guess, I don't know. I want to call someone a weak person because people have feelings. I have feelings. You know what I mean? But I know who I am. So it wasn't like anything they said really bothered me. It was kind of comical. And even when I said like be bold in public, like they were able to say something to me. And even if some of them cursed me out, called me fat, called me stuff, I didn't attack with an insult. So what I am going to do is that because you're being an idiot, I'm going to sit here and flip the script on you. Like, I'm going to take what you say to me and I'm going to flip it right back to you. And it usually applies to you versus it applies to me. And so when I know that I got you, you have nothing else to say. and that's the winner there. So I keep that same energy wherever I go, and you should too. Don't dim your light for no one else. Shoot. And also too, some of us don't know how to handle stress, so we tend to gravitate towards either food, alcohol, some form of substance to kind of settle down whatever emotions and feelings that we're going through. And we have to learn to have a healthy relationship with food, alcohol. Drugs is never an option. Now, if you are a marijuana smoker, one, make sure that it's legal in the state that you are in. And two, I'm not opposed to that only because there are great benefits of smoking marijuana. So I don't really think that you can really truly abuse that. But nonetheless, learn healthy ways of coping versus gravitating towards food, alcohol, even, the good old Mary Jane. I'm not a drinker. I am a snacker. I love chips. I've mentioned it like I don't know how many times on this page or whatever. I love to eat chips. Chips are my vice. And when I am truly stressed, that's where I go. I go find me a bag of chips and I eat them. I have to be honest, it's been a while since I've actually had a whole bag of chips to myself. That's an improvement for me. Trust me. I would just eat because I'm not a big crier. Crying is healthy. You should cry. You should let everything go and just press restart. To where a person like me, it's just kind of hard. It's not that I don't cry, because I do, but it just takes a lot. Even sometimes I just try to squeeze a good cry out, but because I have been so programmed to kind of hold that back, and I know I want to have a conversation later on is what is considered feminine and what is considered masculine, because I do tap in more to my masculine energy than I do my feminine energy. And it's not because I don't have a father, because I've mentioned I have a phenomenal dad, has been in my life my entire life, and present day he's still around, thank God. And it's just that I kind of tap into that more, but I want to talk about that on a different time, because I see so many different videos and reference to it, and how some people like to criticize both men and women as far as tapping into their masculine and feminine energy, blah, blah, blah. But nonetheless, crying is healthy. You should do it to release whatever you got going on. And again, it just goes back to making time for yourself, tapping into your thoughts, getting a grasp of what's going on with you before we don't want to wait until things get out of control. And those of us who feel like maybe having wine at the end of the day is what relieves tension. I legit want an answer to how does it. For those who find solace in alcohol consumption, at the end of the day or at the end of the work week, and just want to drink, what brings on the relaxation? Because I'm just thinking of ultimately what alcohol does. And again, you're talking to a person who is married to a recovering alcoholic. I just want to know, what peace does it bring you? Do you just have one glass? Do you what? Because with me, even with chips, not just talking about those who consume alcohol, but with me with chips, it's it does nothing. I can say, oh, it soothes me, but it really doesn't, because even after I eat the bag of chips, I feel absolutely disgusting afterwards. Then I want to take a bunch of laxatives. I need to poop out whatever I feel that is there. You know what I'm saying? So it's it brings no joy. It brings no joy. Whatever I'm going through is still there. So there's no need. So that's why I ask, what does it actually bring you? And I've even tried the wine thing. It just makes me hot. And then I'm annoyed because I'm hot. And so I'm no longer at peace. So I don't feel like I can get peace because I'm uncomfortable. And also too, to kind of just tap into yourself and just getting to know yourself better and loving yourself more, is to also to stay away from distraction, whatever distraction looks like to you. Even if you're trying to reach a goal or you're trying to do something productive with your life, distractions sometimes get in the way of you accomplishing your goals because you're so busy noticing everything else versus the stuff that you need to. I brought this color down too low. You know what I mean? It's because you get so wrapped up into focusing on other stuff that you really lose sight of what your intention is to do. With me, I want to do so much. I am a nurse full time, but I truly don't want to work for anybody. Like my objective in life is to own my own stuff, to work for myself. Sitting at home for the past November, December, January, 4 months with a bad foot. It just made me think like, dag, at any moment, my career can be jacked up because I have a bum foot. Working in the hospital for 12 hours a shift, 12 hours minimum, because you really don't know what you might stay back to do due to whatever circumstances is going on, that can alter things. And it's like, what next? I hate having the thought of someone else handling how life is going to go for me. So I want to do that myself. And sitting at home for 4 months, I thought about everything that I would like to do, but truth be told, was so distracted by so many different things that I just could not just focus, because I could have really took this time out to really build my channel, see where that went. And I started off like that. I started off doing really good and then got distracted by stuff and missing a lot of time where I could have really found my niche, because I'm starting to see that talking is more of my niche than doing makeup. Like everybody has seen a makeup tutorial, right? At this point, it's like, now that I'm getting older, people want to hear a different perspective, like a thought, have a conversation. You know what I mean? Versus just watching makeup videos and stuff like that, but I just could not get my thoughts together. And I was distracted either by watching movies, especially like binge watching something. A lot of things. You sit here and you watch massive amount of shows. TV is a distraction. Social media is a distraction. You get on TikTok, you're up there for hours at a time looking at other people. Meanwhile, they're earning and you're busy watching. Like, come on, the sense in that. Focus, write your vision board, write down what you want to do and execute it. Like I have a vision board, I like it. It could do some work. And if you guys are interested in doing like either a live, I think a live would be good. Doing a live stream, doing a vision board or something to that nature, let me know, because I definitely want to do live videos to interact more, to kind of just be more connected. But I feel like I need more. I don't know if I need more of an audience, but I just want to see if you'll show up for them. So just let me know down in the comment section if you're interested in doing any live videos. And let me know, like, what are some ways do you show love to yourself? Because again, I think it's just very important, like before we even start talking about what's going on in the world, because I just was baffling with starting this series off with self-love, because so much has been going on. And like, the first example I'm going to use is like a mirror lock. Like stuff like that breaks my heart. You just want to get up and you want to start talking and you want to start jumping. And I will talk about that, even though it has happened a couple of weeks ago. I do want to talk about serious situations like that, because I feel like it's necessary. Things like that can't and shouldn't be overlooked. But it's just like, how are we all handling heartbreak like that? What are we doing? How are we managing? Because we know for a fact that things like that are going to keep happening. And some of us are raising sons. How are we mentally preparing our kids, and how are we mentally preparing ourselves to even have these hard conversations? We have right now, there's Black women being targeted so heavy out in these streets, and it's just like, what is the hang up? Which I will be talking about a certain situation soon, but I had to do some research and watch hours of videos and things of that nature to even make a solid commentary on what's going on. But it's just crazy. There's so much to talk about. And at the end of the day, if I'm going to start, at least for myself, I'm going to walk myself into the realm of where I'm going to make more commentary videos, I have to strengthen myself, because people are just cruel. They say what they want. But one thing for certain that doesn't get me hemmed up, and it shouldn't get you hemmed up, is that when these people are behind screens, behind phones, computers, whatever the case is, and talking nonsense, you have to put yourself in the scenario like, okay, should I care? Because they're not saying it directly to your face. Now, even with that being said, the world is small. You can get recognized in the street and people can approach you or whatever and say whatever they want to say and want to cause ruckus. What you have to do and always do, and I feel if this ever happens, is to keep your composure. Keep your composure, because people are just ignorant. People haven't checked their mental health status and will do the dumbest stuff. I feel like positivity is great, but we also got to just be honest on what's going on in the world and be able to vocalize and speak freely. But the only person that we have to make sure that is balanced at all times, and that is focused, and that can share a complete thought at all times, is you. It's me, ourselves. That's all we can do is manage ourselves in order to get our point across every single time. And so we got to pour into ourselves, love ourselves, embrace ourselves for who we are, where we are, and then we can do all the great things we were put on earth to do. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put all the makeup that I used today in this video, I'm gonna put it in my description box. So if you're interested in it, because there's some things I just used for the first time today, and I picked the palette randomly. I don't think that I was trying to go for a green look necessarily today, but I picked it out randomly because I told you I'm trying to use all the makeup that I currently have because I really, really don't want to buy anything else. I don't think I bought recently was this gloss bomb from Fenty. I already told y'all how I feel about their lip glosses. I still have plenty that I need to use up, but because it was new, it's the only makeup thing I've bought in 2022. Juvia's Place just came out with some stuff and I resisted. Yay me. So let me finish this look. And all I have to do is put on my lips and do something with this. I'm going to finish this look up and then I'm going to close this video out. Be right back. All right, guys, this is the final look. Please let me know down in the comment section how you felt about our first episode of I Live for the People. I know that it wasn't like a major issue to talk about what's going on in our community, but we also have to admit that we don't show ourselves enough love in our own community, and that's within ourselves and also to each other. Like right now, we're doing so much to each other, and it's just like, okay, let's stop breaking each other down. We need to lift each other up, but let's start with ourselves first. Let's tap into what's going on with us before we can sit here and spread love to each other, because if we got our issues, we definitely not going to be any benefit to someone else. I'm excited for the new year, I know, and another reason to why it's very important for me to even make a video like this is because I deal with my own issues, my own distractions, my own self-hatred at times that it just clouds my mentality. I get so consumed with doing everything else versus the things that I want to do, and that's not fair to me. I'm not going to be any benefit to anybody if I'm not at my 100%, hands down, point blank, period. And so I definitely want to be a light on this platform. I don't want this place to be an unsafe place where you feel like you can't come and talk. You can't have you can't leave a comment without feeling diminished because someone else wants to break you down. And that's something that I also know. And I'm gonna go into that video, the last video I did before the year ended. The video itself was fine, but it's just the comment section alone. And again, I mentioned briefly in this video that if it wasn't the type of person that I am, if I didn't have that strength within myself, a lot of things would get to me. You know what I'm saying? And how certain people talk to, you know, women and stuff like that is just a bunch of nonsense. And I definitely want to support each other. I definitely want to love on one another. I'm always going to keep it a buck. I'm always going to keep it honest. I'm always try my hardest to be fair in every aspect. I'm always going to share a little bit of myself because I feel like I can't just talk to you and not give you any form of life experiences or whatever the case is, because I'm the furthest thing from a goody-goody. Don't want to be, have never been. I'm a work in progress. God is working through me each and every day. So yeah, I'm very grateful. Happy New Year. I'm so sorry that I didn't post more. I do want to ask your advice though. I have two makeup videos that I did before the year was out, and one I think I'm definitely gonna post because it's like very general. Like my little Christmas tree's not even showing in that video. But I also have a Juvia's Place video that I wanted to go up. If you want to, the looks that I have filmed, I also put them on my community page. If you want to see what those looks look like and if you want to see those tutorials, please let me know and I will get them up. I know that I have a follower who keeps in touch with me and always contacts me to make sure that I'm good, and she wants to see them. So if anything, I'm gonna do them for her. But let me know too. I want to get your feedback. I think people had said they wanted to, but I had asked that question a few weeks ago because again, I got so distracted. And so this self-love, it's not because this self-love video I didn't make it just because I'm not a perfectionist at it. I haven't grasped, you know, the whole self-love thing, but we're doing this together and I'm rocking with you. You rock with me, and we definitely have to uplift one another to get through this thing we call life. So thank you so much. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to connect with your girl on social media, you can find me on everything Talia's Eye Candy. That's on Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. Again, for the products that I used today, they will be down in the description section of this video. And I also too, I'm gonna go ahead and post a picture of this look, and I'm gonna have it on Instagram if you want to see what I used. Thank you guys so much, and I will definitely catch you all in the next. Bye.